Good morning. Good morning, good morning. I'm just putting on some concealer this morning. I've actually been up since 5:30 again. This is, I don't know, I think pretty much my fourth day at actually 5:30. No snooze, no setting it for a little bit later, changing my mind, 4:30. I've been doing Miracle Morning for almost 2 weeks, but today is actually the fourth at 5:30. My goal is to next week start getting up at 5. So I still feel like I need more time to get all the things in that I want to do. But I already did basic, my foundation, but not under my eyes. I did my brows with the Dream On, that dark brown from Dream On. Now I'm going to use Lottie's Dazzle palette to do a gray and kind of pinkish look for my eyes. So I'm going to use my, morning Trish. Good morning, good morning. Hold up. Trying to find the right palette. I thought I had it, but I guess I had two of my Dream On palette. Alright. I'm going to use the Dream On, though, for crystal color. I know, I use these all the time. They really are my go-tos because they're so easy to use. So I'm going to use this Dream On as kind of my base color again, like I usually do, or frequently do at least. Not sure what happened. It looked like I had 5 people and suddenly it was 1. That's alright though. I'll make the video regardless, right? You can catch it on the replay. We're all busy getting ready for work. Alright, so there's my crystal as my base color. Now I'm going to go back to the Dazzle though. And I'm going to go with like a pink and grayish type look for, in honor, morning Judy, in honor of the school. So the shimmery gray I'll actually get from Dream On, but I am going to use this darker color mixed with the reddish with this pinky color. Those are the colors that I'm going to use to create my pinky look. So remember I said, for those of us who aren't 20 years old, color is not a bad thing. If you're going for an 80s look, put on as many colors as you want because you know that's what we did back then. But if you're not going for an 80s look, just keep it to one color. Just, you know, add one bright color for that pop of color, and that's it. That way you can enjoy those bright colors that are fun and not feel like, well, anything, however that makes you feel. And then again, if you really want to go with lots of bright colors and it makes you happy, well then go for it. Because you know what? Nobody can really tell you what's best to do for you. Because by the time you get to our age, it's about making you happy, right? Well, Trish, you'll understand probably both sides of it, although you're more towards the 20. But Judy, I think you get me. But I know that Trish still feels like I'm going to do what I do and what's good for me, and that's the way we should be. We don't need to spend as much time worrying about what everybody else thinks, and just, if we feel beautiful, even if it's something we shouldn't wear, like that show, it's really just about us feeling beautiful. So, there is the darker pink. I'm going to add my gray on before I add any of the light pink, so I'm going to this shimmery gray from the Dream On. Maybe I should have called this simply Dazzling and Dreamy. So I'm just putting that gray in there. Again, these are Lottie's limited time collection. We don't know how long we'll have them. We don't know if there'll be another running of it at some point in the future. We just know we still have some now, and it makes us happy because most of us have discovered these are palettes we don't ever want to live without. And any of my fellow beauty guides who decide to jump on here could vouch for the fact that these Lottie collections are really our faves, especially Dream On for most people because it has so many neutral day-to-day type colors. And Dazzle's just fun. I think a lot of the artists definitely use it, and if you discover all the great purples and different kind of looks you can do with it, I think that's fun as well. Alright. So So now I'm going to go back over here to that lighter color, and it kind of looks messy right now, and that's absolutely okay. Morning, Daniel. Morning. So I'm going to go to this lighter pink right now. I'm going to kind of brush a little of that darker pink off my brush. And I'm going to go in the crease with that because I put the darker one right above the crease. So I'm just kind of helping to mix those colors together right there. And then what I'm going to do is take my large shadow brush again, and I'm going to blend the colors so that it is not a crazy dark pop of color. Not at that place in my lid. I could go crazy dark on my lid, but not on the above the crease. That crazy dark on me, I feel, is not what I'm looking for. So, okay, so now that after I've blended, I'm going to kind of tap off some of that pink, and I'm going to go into my Dream On again, and I'm going to go to the crystal, so that highlight color, tap off, and I'm going to go above all those colors again and kind of come down into the pink to kind of tone it down. So you can see the difference. The pink is darker, and here I've toned it down. There we go. Good morning, Nilda. How are you doing, Nelda? Remember, Nelda's the rose building. I'm just waiting for something I can do over there so that I can use that venue for myself too. Alright, so I am going to now take my Sotox to get all this fall off. You see, because this is really dark color, so even though I am tapping it off, I have a lot of fall off below my eyes. So I'm just going to get some of my Sotox, which is right here. Sotox. And I'm going to go underneath my eye because the Sotox is the one that helps like lighten those dark spots in your face, but it also, the Sotox is good for those lines. So Sotox is just, I don't know, really good to have on your face, really. I already put it on once, honestly, but you can't have too much. So you can see now that I've got rid of all that excess, and I've kind of toned down that pink a little, and I will take a picture outside again like I normally do so you can see the look better. Like the colors more, what they actually look like. I will do that when the sun comes up and I have all that perfect lighting. Yes, Glory. Noted. Our kids have to come get noted in the morning when they brush their teeth to make sure we know they did it. So you don't want your kids going to school with rotten breath. It's really bad. Teachers think it's bad, I know from experience. Other students think it's bad. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking my concealer, and I actually do a mix of 0, 1, and 2. 1 is that yellowish color though, that is for those dark circles, and I tend to get the dark circles a little bit right here at least, even if I get a full night's sleep. So I am putting that color in there. So after I do that, I put a little bit more just in this crease of that yellowish color only now to help with that, and that's that number 1, concealer number 1. And then I'm going to take my wet sponge, my blender full, because it is wonderful, and I'm going to just dab underneath my eye to make sure that I don't have any, you know how you can get those weird where it bunches up, and I don't want any of that under my eye. I want a flawless look underneath there. So I am going to do that. Alright. I'm going to put a little bit more concealer on my blender full. Now remember, this blender full, you can actually do your whole face today. Any day, actually. You just dampen it. I did it the other day. I used it for my whole face. I like the shape of it. It comes with this really cool case, which, oh, here it is. This cool case with an L, and then you just put your blender full in it. It can dry out, so you don't have to worry about icky stuff growing on it or anything like that. So I'm just tapping my forehead. Where I have those lines, I tend to tap my blender full a little bit more, because what it does is it presses that foundation into my face so that those lines aren't going to show up. It's not going to draw any attention to those lines. And I do have, no matter how amazing the skin products are, I am getting older, and so I do still have some lines. But all right, so then I'm going to add a little bit of that pink rosy color, this one, the darker rosy color, to my cheeks. For some color, I'm going to add some of my bronzer color from my Dream On, that brown, underneath that color. Remember, from the ear on the bottom of the cheekbone itself, not in that under area. And then because I have the tall forehead, I'm doing it on the forehead, kind of shaping that to give a thinner look. Makeup is all about whatever makes you happy, and having a little bit thinner face makes me happy. So, and if you see this kind of glaring color, all I have to do to fix that is go in with my blender, or because this one's a little dark, that I won't just use the powder, but I'm just gonna tap over it, and you see how that is gone. So it's a great thing if you get, you don't want too much blush because you don't want to look like a clown, but if you feel like you get a little bit too much for you, you can go over it with that. So that is my face. I'm going to look at some point over here and keep trying to find my powder so that I can go over the rest of my face. I used the Shinto One foundation before I got on here. And again, the concealers, I mix a little bit of my skin tone, which is the 2, in my T-zone, just to make sure that if it does get warm or I'm running around or something, that I don't have any melting. Not a lot of people have that problem with our foundation, but I occasionally do in the T-zone. So I just use our waterproof concealer, and it takes care of that issue. So there is that. I'll probably add our wedding cake lip color, which is like a wine color with a little bit of sparkle, to my lips, and then put on my mascara, and that'll be it for the day. So I'll take a picture later and get that to you guys. Thanks for joining me this morning. I hope you have a great day. If I can get this to stop, right?